Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion, your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut too. I hope you like this video and subscribe. So we're going to talk about, the Toronto Blue Jays. Yes, they were eliminated, folks. They got eliminated by the Minnesota Twins a few days ago, and the general manager has come out in support of manager John Schneider, and I have a couple of different articles to read to you. It's from MLBTradeRumors.com. Ross Atkins discusses Schneider, coaching staff, and the offense. During the Blue Jays' end-of-season press conference today, this was yesterday. This was today. GM Ross Atkins spoke to reporters about a variety of topics, including the decision to pull right-hander Jose Berrios from what proved to be the club's final game of the season after just 3 innings. He's your best starter. What the hell are you taking him out for? The future manager John Schneider and the coaching staff, as well as the club's offense in 2023. Regarding the decision to pull Berrios, Atkins emphasizes that in-game decision-making is a role that belongs exclusively to Schneider, saying, "I have nothing to do with it." No, that's not what he said. That the front office did not influence Schneider's game plan for the club's pitching staff, other than maybe that it was an organizational strategy that had been communicated to players. Though Atkins emphasized that he did not play a role in the decision, he also expressed support for Schneider's decision, noting that run prevention wasn't the club's issue during the series, where they mustered just 1 run on 15 hits across 2 games. Well, if you don't score runs, you're not going to win. The strategy, quote, "strategy's out," is one that, in the end, was effective if we only allowed 2 runs. Okay, and they only scored 1 run. While Atkins expressed support for Schneider and confirmed during the press that he would return as the club's manager in 2024, the future of Toronto's coaching staff appears less certain. As Sportsnet's Shai Davidi notes that Atkins described discussions on the future of the club's coaching staff as ongoing, though the specifics of any changes being considered were unclear. In terms of off-season priorities, Atkins made clear that the club will look to improve the offense ahead of the 24 campaign. I wonder if they'll be looking at Shohei Ohtani. I wonder if they'll be looking at Juan Soto. Interesting. With sluggers, Brandon Belt and Matt Chapman both scheduled to hit free agency in the coming weeks. Even more pressure figures to be placed on franchise face Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to bounce back from 2023's down season. That said, strong performances from outfielders George Springer and Dalton Varsho, as well as catcher Alejandro Kirk, will also be necessary if the club's offense is going to regain its top-of-the-league form from 2022. Of course, the team could also look to free agency in order to give their offense a facelift. Chapman and Bell will be joined by the likes of Mitch Garver, Bryce Hoskins, J.D. Martinez, and Jock Peterson as some of the better power bats available this winter. I mentioned about Hoskins. He's been out all year. He had that ACL tear that he got during a spring training game. Oh, he barely moved. That guy hurt his freaking ACL. Just the weirdest injury I've ever seen. Now here we have someone that's covering the Blue Jays, SI.com, seems to be concerned by some of the Canucks up there. Those crazy Canucks up there covering the Blue Jays. Here we have someone called Bannon. Blue Jays are trending in the wrong direction. Despite missing the playoffs, the 2021 Blue Jays gave hope for a brighter future. But that year's team may have been the peak. Oh boy, they did some more negativity. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. lingered in the Blue Jays dugout for a moment. Seconds after Rafael Devers' homer sent the Red Sox to the 21 MLB postseason, ending Toronto's playoff hopes. Guerrero stood up, collected his bat, and walked down the tunnel to the home clubhouse. The end to the 21 campaign was crushing. Multiple Blue Jays in the preceding end-of-year press conference noted that year's Toronto team had the best offense and started pitching in baseball, and yet the resulting 91 wins weren't enough to sniff October. Despite the abrupt season end and lack of postseason to show from them, there was hope. There was optimism. Interestingly enough, we have a great culture and it's only going to get better, Springer said on the final day of the 21 season. Hopefully, he said. Even with Robbie Ray and Marcus Semien heading for free agency, Toronto's young core was in place with Bo Bichette and Guerrero Jr. and the splashy free agent signings of George Springer and Hwai Jin Ryu, I didn't say his name right, were clearly paying off. There was no room to spend a prospect pool to utilize in trades, and an upward trajectory seemed inevitable. Fast forward 2 years, and the Blue Jays face the very same end-of-year press conference with no playoff wins than they had in 21. In fact, by expected Pythagorean record, the Blue Jays have gotten worse each of the past 2 years. They're trending in the wrong direction. In 21, they won 99 games. Last year, they won 91 games. And this year, they won 89 games. In the past 2 seasons since 21, the Blue Jays have thrown money and resources around in an effort to improve on that year's squad. Though Semien and Ray left, Matt Chapman and Kevin Gausman were brought in to fill the holes. Last winter, it was determined run prevention would fix the problems, and Dalton Varsho, Chris Bassett, and bullpen helped with the offseason injections of choice. Despite the roster shaking and free agent spending, the 21 and 22 Blue Jays team have managed just as many postseason victories as the 21 team that didn't even get to October. Is the reluctance snatching wins in the postseason? Sure, but can it be reasonably stated that the past 2 years Toronto teams even deserve more than the 21 squad? I'd say no. He says no. The 21 team was truly great. The offense had 30 home hitters and a rotation of Jose Berrios, Cy Young Ray, healthy Ryu, and upstart Alex Manoah. Could have pushed the team deep into the playoffs. The last 2 years haven't come close to that standard. Now, here's the thing. You got to know when the hole and know the form. So if you know that you sort of take a step back, you got to know who you could push in terms of who you could trade, who you can't trade, and what you need to add. Now the Blue Jays have been passed by the Orioles, staved off by the Rays, and bested in consecutive Octobers by Marlins and Twins teams rocking $50 million or more lower in payroll. What's worse, the optimism and hope that the 21 team provided has largely dissipated. It felt inevitable the Blue Jays would only get better after that year's postseason miss. Now the path forward is unclear. Factor in arbitration and estimates, the Blue Jays may only have 15. I would mention this is another team. Again, this is another team, folks. Another team that spent a lot of money. And they did not sniff really much of October. Some of the other teams didn't even make it to October. The New York Mets, the San Diego Padres, the Anaheim Angels, well, Los Angeles. It doesn't matter what you call them. That cluster in Los Angeles that Artie Moreno owns. And we have here in Toronto, they spent a lot of money, again. But the thing about this team, and I would say the Mets, is their foundation was not very strong. Their foundation is in young players. And if you don't constantly bring in young players to sort of fill in the cracks on the kind of team that you have, you're going to have these kind of disappointments along the way. So, you let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut too, and I'll see you later.